Alright, I guess where to start. So I'm using Eurorack exclusively to do my recording, my entry for the contest. So no DAW, no computer, or anything like that. So that relegated me to relying on the Bitbox to play the samples. And it's unfortunately the Bitbox, the Mark 1 version, has only 4 outputs. So really a couple options I had were basically just take 4 samples and that's it, or try to run multiple samples out and basically stack them and hope that the levels and the effects and whatnot don't interfere with one another. So that was my starting point. I'm going to try to follow these wires and figure out what I did here. Well, first of all, to trigger my samples, I was using the Erica Synth Pico trig as my main clock. Don't have a Pam's New Workout or anything like that. This is one of my more recent purchases. It was a chaos divider. I was using this for, as you could see, two of the triggers, the drum beats, or the triggers. I think one was the orange one here was the kick drum, and this one I am not sure which one that went to. Let's find out. Also, here's the proof that I was using all your samples here. That mic 0715 is the kick drum. I have some of those weird kind of, one of these is that chorus sound. I think it's this one right here, loop 16. This one I believe is, I could have these two reversed. One of these is that the kind of woman's voice with the loop in the background. One of these is like maybe a pad or something, I forget. Anyway, these are all you can see I haven't stopped it, it's still playing right now. So basically I ran those out of Bitbox. I'm using this Sir Mix-a-Lot here from Blue Lantern as my main mixing source. Pretty much everything was going into here except for I think 2 different things. So I don't want to make this too long. If I could just remember what I was even doing here. Okay. So the kick drum came out. It went into this Akari filter. I got left and right coming back into here, so that way I could turn one drum on. I didn't really pan them left and right. I could turn one drum on, and have it be whatever volume, and then I kick the other one on. It's a little bit louder. So now I pretty much previewed most, if not all, the samples on here, and I, for whatever reason, didn't really find a kick drum that I was really, really thrilled about, that I really wanted to use, I should say. So what I ended up doing is put the settings on this filter. Almost, you could probably hear it in the song. It's a little kind of, I don't want to say hollow sounding, but it sounds like it's coming from a distance. I kind of wanted to have that feel of like you're at a warehouse party or something, and you can hear the bass drum, the kick drum coming from another room, and then everything else, kind of those glitchy, skittery voices and whatnot and sounds, kind of was really crystal clear, like it was coming from right here. So anyway, this right here, this is basically a replica of a Bluka 295. This is basically, it separates the frequency bands. And so what I did is I took, again, I don't remember which one it was, but I took one of the sounds, ran it into here, split all the frequency bands except for the highest and the lowest into synapse, which is basically, pardon me, a crossfade and a sequential switch. Took those out to my Turing machine, which has a low pass gate built into it, and then I could adjust these up live. I did record this entire thing live, by the way. I didn't sequence anything other than, have the drum beats going. So Yeah, and actually I used my the Turing Maschine, as you can see right here. If you know anything about Eurorack, I used it as a modulation source. I also have the clock running into it. So basically, yeah, the kick drum going through the filter purposely made it kind of sound a little bit hollow. One of the voices was coming over here to the data bender. So I still have, I mean, all the samples I didn't manipulate in terms of taking them and you know, chopping them up in terms of pitching them or time stretching them or anything like that. I basically just kind of chopped them up with like the data bender, but the original pieces are still there. One of the other voices I have going through this Afterneath, which is a delay slash reverb kind of module. This, I don't think I used the Crucible. One of the previous iterations of this song I did, but I didn't end up using it in the end in the last version that I did. This is another one of my favorite effects units. It's big, it's huge, it's deep. It's a 1-bit multi-tap delay, and it sounds really nice. So I actually used this on, I believe, not the kick, maybe. I'm not really sure. Again, I forget exactly where everything was going. But I did, long story, cut short because the routing is just insane here. Routed everything out of the bitbox individually. One of them I doubled up. Came over here to the Sir Mix-a-Lot. Had some, here's a clock splitter too. I use that, as you can tell, quite a bit. Use the pingable LFO here, and the gate delay right here. I was thinking about using some of these other modules. It's just they didn't work out with this project. I was thinking really about using Elements, which is my newest module. I was really excited to get it, but I didn't end up using it at all. It didn't do anything for me in this track. I did, however, use Clouds. I know Loopop said that he didn't want any granular shenanigans, so I actually switched this to Spectral Madness mode and used that instead. And I didn't use it as an actual voice to replace one of the ones that was on the sample. I basically kind of, you can see that the blend is pretty well. It's about, what, 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock maybe almost. So most of the original voices there, the Cloud's Spectral Madness voice was a little soft, so that's why I had to turn it up a little bit. But yeah, needless to say, this is possible to do. I think this song is probably going to sound different than everybody else's. If you have any questions, I guess, in the comments, when I post this to my YouTube page, like they always say, what, down below. Never done this before, so you could probably tell if you look at the rest of the stuff on my page, it's pretty barren. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. It was kind of a challenge again to work using specifically just some samples with nothing else, and basically 4 samples is not going to give you a lot of depth of sound, so I really had to do some creative routing here to get things where I needed to get them. So that's, I guess, a walkthrough. I hope it's sufficient enough to tell you what I kind of did here. But again, if you have any questions, and I thank Loopop for holding this contest. It got me out of kind of a rut for a little bit. Like a lot of people that work in Eurorack, that play with Eurorack, I find myself kind of doing the same kind of patching over and over and over again. And this really kind of broke me out of that by basically working with material specifically, exclusively, and try to draw as much out of as I can, seeing as how I wasn't working on a DAW and I didn't have the luxury of, layering 6, 7, 8, 10 samples and sequencing it down, having sections and whatnot. I recorded it all live to a blue box, which is now replaced by a cactus. I put these cacti and succulents kind of tongue-in-cheek. I actually just got these for like $1.50 at the, I'm sorry, $1 and $2 at the store the other day. So I just thought to be funny, I would put them here, so I can be the stereotypical Eurorack guy. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you, Loopop, for holding the contest. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks.